This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena Rolle. As always, it's so great to have you with us. The government of the Bahamas renewing its commitment to the further development of the Family Islands as the Prime Minister announced several new initiatives designed to take off on the northern island of Bimini. At the center of this new economic thrust is the multi-million-dollar Bimini Bay Resort. Joan Davis-Rolle reports.
An island known as the gateway to the world is poised to become a jewel of the Bahamas as it witnessed unprecedented growth and development. Making the announcement on that northern island was the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie.
That Bimini, like San Salvador, is now going to be looked at by the government of the Bahamas as a model for development of small island communities. You may all be familiar with the fact that this development began amidst controversy, where observations continue to be made that it had serious environmental implications, and even to the point where people were speaking of degradation. But if you have the time to observe, you will see what has been created here and be able to conclude, as those of you who are involved in the financial services sector, that this is an important destination and that great things are being done on this island that will inure not only to the benefit of the people of Bimini, but the people of the Bahamas.
The nation's leader, in speaking about the mega Bimini Bay project, further stated that with increased developments will come more job opportunities for Bahamian. He said that not only will Bimini become a hub for gaming, but several new spin-off business opportunities will also be created, hence solidifying Bimini's overall economy.
On the way, being constructed now, is a 10,000 square foot casino capable of hosting 15 table games and 139 slot machines and a sports book. There are 4 food and beverage outlets, with a 5th coming with the casino. And the casino is scheduled to open in May of this year, where I think in the season they have a significant number of people hired, well over 200. But the most important point is sometime in the coming weeks and months, another 130 Bahamians will be hired to work in the casinos. Some of them from Bimini, some of them from outside of Bimini and other places in the Bahamas.
The Prime Minister also announced a major redevelopment for Bimini's main port of entry.
The international airport, or the airport, will be upgraded into an international airport with all of the facilities expanded, and ultimately in 2015 there will be an extension of the runway, new facilities at the airport. Immediately landscaping will begin on South Bimini, and the government will have to look to increasing the housing stock on Bimini, making this into an extraordinary destination.
From the airport, the nation's chief shifted his attention to Bimini's seaport.
New island enhancements will be made. Opportunity for water taxis will exist. The upgrading of the government dock that will host and land ferries. And there's this extraordinary plan not only to bring people in by air, but to have ferries coming from points in Florida, bringing people to this island on a rotation basis, where they will be hosting a maximum, I think, of thousands of people in a day.
Joan Davis-Rolle, Saturday Network News.
In just 3 months, the United States Embassy will partner with the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to attempt the largest mass rescue operation at sea and on shore. During a luncheon today, various government agencies met to further discuss the details of what is being dubbed the Black Swan exercise. Keynote speaker, Acting Deputy Chief of Missions at the U.S. Embassy in Nassau, John Ingram.
overall preparedness. And this exercise, as my Coast Guard colleagues would, I'm sure, back me up, is the largest exercise of its type that's ever been attempted. That's correct, yes. Now, this is a real opportunity, both for the United States and for the Bahamas, because we all know preparedness is important. You know, you don't buy fire insurance expecting the house to burn down, but you want to be prepared.
Now, he says he's pleased that the Bahamas is a part of this vital exercise that ensures that the country will be prepared in the event of an emergency.
Every year we're required to do a report on potential evacuees. Every embassy around the world does this. It's F-77, it's famous. And based on our latest report, you've got between probably 5.5 to 6 million Americans come to this country every year. That's a huge number. And that's the reason why this is also important to the United States. I'm glad over the next couple of days, Paul Culver and Lieutenant Commander Janish and everybody else is going to be going through a walkthrough, preparing for this exercise. We're glad we can be part of it. We can work together with our Bahamian partners.
Now, the Black Swan exercise is set to take place on April 1st. Meantime, police are investigating reports of copper theft at the Love 97 tower site. Reports are that sometime between 4 p.m. on Friday, February 1st and noon on Monday, February 4th, a person or persons entered the tower site on Settlers Way and made off with a large amount of copper wire and maintenance equipment from the transmitter, valued at $11,000. Now, if you have any information that could assist with this investigation, you should contact the nearest police station. There is more reaction tonight of the recent referendum on gambling. Labor leader and educator Leslie Minus says he believes that the way the recent poll was handled should send a clear message to the government that the Bahamian people want to be educated on the issues at hand before they head to the polls.
Those persons who are putting together future referendum, particularly constitutional reform, feel that the Bahamian electorate will be interested in responding and voting on future referenda. Now, there is some indication that they intend to allow to not bring a referendum forward as soon as they had intended. So there is some reticence, some hesitation on the part of the consultative body that the government has appointed.
While many may argue that a government is elected to make the hard decisions and not the people, Minus says such an exercise is very important.
There are conventions, international conventions, to which the Bahamas government has signed on through the United Nations and through the ILO, where they'd want to give the impression to the international bodies that we are a growing democracy and we are allowing the general population to participate in the decision making of the government. But then they have to bring to us substantial questions, not the type of question that was presented that was so ambivalent and so ambiguous, and had the yes vote won or the no vote, there would not have been any change.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.